Okay. There we are. Good morning. Or, well, good afternoon, Siren Squad. I had to come and do the podcast, even though I didn't think I would do it today. Because I went and I survived and I made such a big deal out of fucking nothing. And that is usually how trauma works. So let me just start off by saying first, before I get into talking about the concert, that I have to tell chat what I have learned. And here's what I have learned. I have learned that conquering my fears is the number one way to truly regain my sense of self, which also, by the way, I have come to realize I don't even know what that is. I've spent my whole entire life becoming what people need me to be. That I will stifle myself and suffocate myself in order to be the best accessory part, I guess, for anybody I interact with. I used to say that I talked to people on their level, and I was capable of that, which I am, but that's not what I was doing. I was changing myself and my behavior to be the most supportive and enjoyable person, depending on who I was interacting with, which is not the same as being myself. And the number one thing I learned last night is that concerts are way more fun when I'm myself. Like, I was so into that last night, and I was having such a good time, and I would not have done that. And I've never done that. I don't think I've done that since back in freaking 1998 when I went to the Backstreet Boys. And I just went to that concert. I didn't even know who the hell they were, barely. But I truly, I guess, managed to reclaim a certain sense of myself last night that was both, it was just incredible, because to realize that I have probably spent the majority of my life just trying to be the best for whoever I'm interacting with, instead of just, and meanwhile claiming my authenticity and my realness. Well, no, I guess I kind of lied. I didn't mean to, but I guess I kind of lied, because before now, I'm not sure that I was 100% real. I feel incredibly empowered today. It was crazy. I think that there's a couple things that I realized, though. The trauma that the trauma response that I had before going to this is the last part. Because I feel like now I can move on like Xavier never fucking existed. He's nothing to me. And I think I knew that if I conquered this, that would be the case. That it would be truly over in my heart, mind, and soul. And I think it made me a little sad. And I think that's where a lot of it was actually coming from. Because a part of me wanted to hang on to the belief that he could possibly be a good person, or was who I thought he was. But he's not. He's a figment of my imagination. Nothing more than a pipewater dream that isn't real. I kind of feel like it's like that moment where, never mind, spoiler alerts, I was going to talk about The Sixth Sense and Bruce Willis, but anyways, that's what it feels like. At the end of it, I feel like I reclaimed a certain part of my life that is going to allow me to move forward even better and healthier without having this insidious parasite in my brain, making me question things and wonder, was any of it real? No, it wasn't. I think I can finally accept that now. And I think I can finally accept I'm glad it's over, because I'm actually a better person without it. I had more fun last night being myself, and I realized certain behaviors that I had adjusted and changed, interacting with him, that are not me. So getting into the concert as much as I did, I have like no footage at all of Union Underground overall, because I was too into the music and too into the scene to want to have my phone on me. That's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. So, anyways, here, the here's the things I did discover, and here is my experience. So we'll just get out of this because you know what? I think we're done talking about that. That it's over. Like it's JOVER, bro. It's JOVER, bro. Like I'm free. I am finally free. Thank God Almighty, I am free at last. So let's talk about how Brian Scott got the door for me when I got to the venue, and I almost fucking threw up. The lead singer of Union Underground was trying to get out to the. I'm guessing going to the. Because the band, like, the what do you call them? Tour buses and whatever, were out in the front. And so I'm guessing he was trying to sneak out to go out there or whatever. And I didn't know where, I thought we were going to have to give our tickets at the door, but they were actually in a second door on the inside, which the House of Rock is very similar to the Rock Box in San Antonio. It's just got a little bit, like, it's got a very homey, like, smaller, just, I don't know, good vibes. But anyways, no, he was walking out and he opened the door and I went to say thank you because he held it because I was going into my purse to grab my phone for the tickets. And I just stopped dead right in the center of the doorway, right next to him. Like, oh my God. Like, I didn't go all crazy fangirl or anything, but I was starstruck. I'm surprised I was able to even say thank you. Like, it was insane. So now I'm shaking even more and I'm already nervous and I've got my nerves are all over the place because of my stupid hidden trauma responses that I'm here to conquer. And freaking, he opens the door and I just look at him and I'm like, oh, Jesus. Like, thank you.
Bruh.
Yeah. And then I walk in and I looked at Logan and I was like, that was the lead singer of the Union Underground. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, they just got the door for us. And he was like, no way. And I was like, yeah.
Logan's a lot more pissed off that he listened. He experienced the concert after the door got held.
Yeah. Like I just, and that's who I really wanted to go see. That's why I wanted to go to this concert is I just love Brian Scott. So anyways, so that was fucking just incredible. And then, so once we got in and then once I was realizing that, okay, hey, you know what? I don't know. Like I said, I think that the closure I knew was going to come from this and going to this concert and the fact that I'm going to be able to move on with my life. And it's like, I'm not going to be sitting here crying over Xavier anymore. I'm not going to be sitting here. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I don't think he's going to emotionally afflict me at all anymore. I don't think he could. I think he could call me with the worst horror story on the face of the planet. And it won't matter anymore. I will not be somebody that he could always come to. I am not going to be that little Dutch girl with her finger in the dam. So that's cool. Also, though, what comes with that is a certain level of peace because not being over emotional also allows me to let go of all the anger. I'm not going to walk around with hatred in my heart or vengeance or any of that. As I've said before, I can't do that, but I have to make sure that I'm free of it. So me proving that I could do this is definitely, can you turn that down just a little? Is definitely something that this was a very empowering thing for me. Also, I took my dragonfly pendant that he gave me for Christmas and I let it go in the mosh pit. So that was cool. Because I'm gonna get rid of the negative energy around me too. I don't need reminders. I don't need to remember. I need to forget. That's where I'm at now. Forget that shit. Whatever. You know?
Yep.
And move on. Also, let me just say there are so many hot motherfucking men at these kind of concerts. I'm just gonna say that. That was totally different stuff. Like to go to these kind of things and be like with another person versus going in the mode of single. Oh, I think I could have a lot of fun going to concerts single. I really do. I think I could really enjoy myself. And so that may be my next relationship tier. Not relationships, but going and having good times at concerts. I'm just saying. No. But for real, like it wasn't uncomfortable at all. I wasn't afraid. I had a great time. Probably got Logan a little too close to the mosh pit for his first time. It's not exactly comfortable. Lol. The video I posted on YouTube, you can see like we were right there on the edge. But we moved right before it got crazy enough that the guys that like in the video that I did post to YouTube, you can see that I get hit and whatever. Well, I guess those two guys got so rowdy that they got hauled out in headlocks by the freaking staff at the freaking venue. So, and we were right by the door then because I was like, after they heard all the songs that I wanted to, and I wore my heels. And I wear my heels everywhere. But I haven't done it since I've gotten to the beach. Because who wears heels to the beach? So I traded my heels for sandals. So the last time I really put in time wearing my heels has been over about 7 months ago. My feet were not built for it. And then because I was so into the music, jumping and like fucking just with the crowd and heels, not recommend it. Do not recommend it. Tennis shoes, people, don't do what I do. I'm hanging up the heels. I'm hanging up the heels. I won't go to another thing like this in my heels, no matter how much I love my heels. I don't love them that much. I have 6 blisters between my 2 feet. Still worth it. It was still worth it to go. I wish I would have worn tennis shoes. So the really cool thing was, though, is that the first band, 6 Sense, that played, I guess they're newer. They said that this is one of their first tours, I think, or the first time they've been touring with this like group or whatever. I don't know. But all I know is they're people I haven't heard before, and I didn't really, I just wasn't aware of them. Best cover band I have ever seen. I mean, the female vocalist, just amazing. Just amazing. Like, I will probably be listening more to this band after going to the concert, which is kind of cool because I didn't even know they existed. So that's fun. The next one, I can't even remember who was next. I think it was Edema. I want to say it was Edema. Was it Edema that did the Mortal Kombat stuff? Yeah. So that was chill and that was okay. Like, it wasn't as hype as, like, you know, like I felt during 6 Sense or Union Underground. Not a fan of, what was the other one that we didn't like? Spine Shank. I'm not a Spine Shank fan. I did not care for them. Just my opinion. I wish we would have gone and gotten pizza while they were playing. I would have really liked to try the pizza there.
Imagine just like, damn, that might be the worst review of all time. Would have rather went and got the pizza. just damn, that's like,
yeah. No, I just didn't care for them. So,
you know what?
yeah.
I didn't care for you and your stupid pizza.
So the one thing I also would say that I learned is that, like, for me, like, I don't think I need to be there. Like, maybe it would have been so bad if I wasn't in my heels, but it felt like it went on for too long. I was ready to go home. And we left a little early. I didn't wait for the, you know, like, end of the concert because I was like, no, I'm good now. I need to go. I heard the songs I really wanted to hear. I know that Union Underground played a new track and I didn't pay much attention. I felt like I had gone and I had done what I wanted to do and I had a good time and it was time to go home.
That's funny.
So, but no, overall, one of the things I realized last night is that I have allowed people to hold me back from reaching my maximum potential because I'm so fucking awesome. And yet, because I conform and be who people need or want me to be in a moment and I play a part, that's why I was so obsessive about roles. I wanted to know which way, like, you know, he and I were taking things. Like, what was the dynamic of our relationship? Because if you give me the role, I will perform. I need to not do that. And I won't anymore. I am who I am. And if I felt any bit of sadness last night, it was that I probably wasn't enjoying the concerts I went to in this last year as much as I could have been if I would have been more focused on just having a good time and being myself. I wasn't. I was playing the role of support. Like, I'm there, you know? And so I know I used to say things all the time, like, especially like with your dad, because he, like, kind of very much, I was a trophy wife, you know? Well, well, that's, I guess, what he needed. Right? And so I just kind of went to that when really the truth is, I mean, might be hot enough to be a trophy wife, but I am definitely not, like, my personality is not that at all. My personality is way bolder and, crazier. I am a little crazy. I mean, not in the derogatory sense, but like fun, you know? Like the energy I had last night. Well, the energy I had last night, well, come on now. Well, yeah, I can be kind of bitchy. We know that. I know. We've noticed that. We noticed that I've been going back to my roots and allowing myself, and I will state the obvious in a very point blank form that can make people feel like shit in a moment, but then I let it go and I move on. Like, I'm just going to tell you what I think. And, you know, it's not to, I guess maybe part of that I lost over the years because I, you know, just exerted positivity in order to try to be what I needed to be for the people I was around. And, you know, it's funny because, like, I was just telling your dad, I was like, you think about it, how I would talk to Nightstar versus how I interact with Power King, two totally different interactions, right? Totally different interactions. Think about it.
Yeah.
Totally different interactions. I would, you know, oh, poor Nightstar. And I'll be like, Parkin, shut the fuck up. What the fuck? You know? Like, two totally different things. So what I realized is that because of my childhood trauma, people who are raised by narcissists tend to be people pleasers. And that's basically, I've been holding myself back my whole entire life because I surround myself, and the truth is, I am a crazy, go-getter, confident individual who would stifle herself to calm down enough because that was too much for the people I was around. Being real, raw, and honest all the time hurt people's feelings, and they couldn't handle it. They needed tissues. And I think the most empowering thing is realizing that I'm not going to do that moving forward. You know? Like,
yeah.
Like I said, people might think I'm loud, obnoxious. I mean, that's how I've always been. But I'm also, yeah, I can be incredibly loving and awesome and fun. But I used to, a long ago, I had a moment in time where I didn't falter. And if you didn't like who I was, you could fuck off. And just that simple. And then somehow along the way, in fixing myself, I started to understand people's psychology so much, and then had such a big heart that it led me to then just naturally want to be better for them and literally change my personality to fit the people I was around. No wonder they weren't real friends. I wasn't real. You know? You can't make real friends if you're not going to be real yourself. And I thought I was being real, but I wasn't, because my true nature probably would have told half those people to fuck off and quit whining. I probably wouldn't have felt bad for them. But because I had healed myself and everything and, you know, had a greater understanding of how things affect people emotionally, then I felt sorry or bad, and I changed my behavior in order to accommodate other people so much better. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's not happening anymore. I'm confident of that. I also think that the biggest thing that was causing my fucking horrible reaction to all of this was my goodbye. This was my... I don't know what I would do. I don't think he'd ever have the balls to reach out to me or talk to me or ever be real. Like, I mean, if I was wrong about anything, he's never going to tell me. But I'd have to be wrong first anyway, even to fucking contemplate that. And I do not any longer believe that I am. I absolutely believe I figured it out and just didn't want to accept it. That's what it boils down to. I didn't want to accept it. And going last night kind of forced me to accept certain things. The one very interesting thing that I fucking figured out is that I wouldn't drink more than 2 drinks. Because that's, like, was my allowance when I went out with him. When has anybody ever been able to tell me not to drink? Or insinuate that I shouldn't? And I don't care if it was healthy or good for me, or if he wants to claim that it was because whatever. Most likely, he just didn't want me to get sloppy drunk and bother him. But either way, he could, let's just say that he wants to believe it was about my health, or he just, wasn't good for me. And well, fine. Bullshit. It's not your choice. You don't get to fucking make those choices for me. If I want to be an unhealthy fucking shithead, then I'm gonna go be an unhealthy shithead because I'm a grown ass adult and can do whatever the fuck I want. You know, but that's not how I acted. To the point where, like, I kind of wish right now I would have gone and gotten that third margarita just to say fuck it, but I didn't need it, and I actually knew that, so it was probably a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm capable of making my own choices as an adult, though. Thank you. I you know, like, so fucking stupid to understand that the ways I changed myself. I'm really glad it's over. I feel like it's over. I also feel like I will probably be way more inclined to do stuff of this nature moving forward. One of the other things that I realized is that what was probably causing me a great deal of distress and fear was just the unknown trigger. Like, could it trigger me? Will it trigger me? I don't know if it'll trigger me. I could have let that keep me from going to another concert for the rest of my life. I feel empowered, in control, and more like myself than I have in years. Which makes me confident. Well, here's the thing. I have no idea of what the future may hold. And I've talked about this multiple times. The people that I have surrounded myself with have, like, narcissistic, like, because my father was a narcissist, I naturally am drawn to people with narcissistic tendencies. And now I know why. But let's just say on the off chance that Xavier is not a narcissist and he's just fucked up because, you know, childhood trauma does that to a person. And let's just say he's learned bad behaviors and doesn't understand everything. And let's just go on that and say that, because that's the only way he could possibly stand a chance at ever improving himself or getting better. But if I was wrong and that were to happen, I would never trust myself, I don't think, to be able to discern the difference. Because he ran such a good game. But let's just say anything was real that I have decided isn't real. If anything were real, one of the things is shutting a door on something like that, because it felt like it was like, well, this is how narcissists work. They feel like your soulmate. But I also wouldn't want to carry so much anger and whatever. Like, I can't hate him. I can't. It's because I can't. Because he doesn't even deserve that much of my energy. He's been living rent-free in my brain for months now. And he just got evicted. Because I faced my last fucking possible trigger. Like, I was telling your dad, I was like, maybe Halloween, but I doubt it, because, you know, we live so many years gone for Halloween that I just don't think that'll carry the same weight anymore. I think it's over. And I think I knew it would be. I think I knew if I went and I proved to myself that I could do this and that I was going to be able to have an enjoyable experience and not be an emotional fucking wreck, that I knew if I did that, it was definitely going to be over and I was going to let go of it. And I guess there's a part of me that wanted to hang on to the fact that he might not, that maybe he is really just struggling in life. It doesn't matter anymore. Because here's what I do know. If he is a narcissist, he's never going to own his shit. He'll never turn around and apologize or do anything because he's not going to care. He's not going to care. He's not going to care enough to put that kind of energy into it. I am nothing to him. And so he'll never do that. He's done. He's used me up and thrown me away. We've done the, you know, love bombing, the devaluation, and now the discard. We've literally followed the narcissist playbook. So to him, I'm most likely nothing. But if I was wrong, and he ever did feel the need to reach out to me, I would want to have control of myself emotionally, you know, to be able to, first of all, know if it was a play and a ploy, because he just, you know, wasn't happy in his current fucking life. I read a thing that said, nobody falls in love faster than a narcissist that doesn't have a place to live. That's like, imagine. But my father was like that. But, you know, like, if anything were to pop up that were to cause him to reach out to me for any reason at all, I need to be in control of my reaction or lack of reaction if that's what I choose to have. And I needed to know that I could be, because it's like a, you never know. I never know. And if I want to go to more of these concerts, I mean, here's what I did learn. I probably wouldn't go to any in San Antonio for a while just because I don't want to run into them. Imagine if I would have gone to Union Underground in San Antonio. Oh my God, that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
That would have been awful. That would have been a totally different experience. But I didn't. And I went and lived life. And I can still enjoy life. And I don't think I think the sadness is going to be gone. I think I'm really excited because I think I'm going to apply to Stripes today because I'm just going to get a job, even if it's just a job while I look for the jobs I want. I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm just going to go get out there and fucking do it. I went and got out there. I mean, I said ho-hum for 2 fucking days, sitting there being scared of my possible emotional fucking reaction. And then had the time of my life. And didn't actually think about him specifically at all. Like, there wasn't a moment where I was like, oh, I really wish he was here for this, or, oh, I wish I could talk to him about that. And then when Logan and I were on the way home and he was like telling me about just different things about what his experience, I was like, well, he taught me that and he taught me this. And, you know, I learned some things from him, and there was none of that heavy mind or emotional. Like, it was just like, I let go. Like, I finally let it go. And that's fucking amazing. And it took me too long, in my opinion. But I did it now. Which is great, because I think that this stream could use something that's not the topic of how he's fucking fucked my head up. Like, now it's time to start talking about living life and having a good time. And having experiences where I'm starstruck at a door because a singer holds it open for me, and I'm like, oh my God, I know who the fuck you are. It was amazing. The mosh pit got pretty crazy just after Logan and I left that area, because I was like, I think I need a water. It was weird. I just had this, like, I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, I need to move from this space. So we walked out of the mosh pit, and then I got a water, and we walked back over to the sound, like where the sound booth is and whatever, and friggin', I guess that's what you call it, but it's like, you know, wherever, where the sound controls are, and we walked, and there was an exit door right there, and that's when they, like, hauled off the 2 guys that were the heaviest in the mosh pit out in a headlock, and I'm pretty sure dude had a broken nose. I know fire and rescue showed up, and the cops. And I just can't believe that I come down to this, like, smaller area on a Sunday night concert and have a more extreme experience than I ever had in San Antonio. That's crazy to me. It's just like the Village all over again. You know, I never saw a drug the whole time I lived in fucking Minneapolis, St. Paul area. I go up to freaking rural bumfucked Egypt, rural Minnesota, and my first day of fucking high school there, and they're smoking weed out of the fucking bathroom with a window open. I had never even seen a drug before in my life. It took me leaving the most, like, that's fucked up in my head. You know what I mean? And that's what it felt like. It felt like it was like exactly that I, hey, did you grab me a Skittle? But it felt like, it just, yeah. But it just felt like it was just a different, it was a little bit more extreme. It was a little bit more extreme experience, but I enjoyed it. But I had a really good time. I love the people that go to these concerts. There's just, the crowd is something. There's just so much energy, and it felt so fucking great. I don't know how I ever managed to come home from one of these concerts and do the things that I used to do after them. Because my body is so sore.
Lol.
Like, I am wrecked, and my afternoon is probably going to constitute TV, bed, and napping. I'm not gonna lie. My ears... yes, my ears are, well, mine are a little bit better than yours, because I got home and put cotton in them. We forgot earplugs for Logan. What? Do they? And he woke up and was like, my ears are still ringing. I said, put cotton in them, and he went back to sleep. He says they're better now, but we forgot his earplugs. And that was maybe a big whoopsie, because we were right directly underneath the fucking speakers. So, you know, but yeah. So, the moral of the story, chat, is trauma is scary. It will make you have to be willing to fucking literally say fuck fear to overcome it. But if you do, that's how you regain your life. That's how you regain your stuff. And I, honest to goodness, after last night, feel like I have a sense of closure that is going to allow me to live my life moving forward in so much better of a manner. And if I never hear from him again, I'll be perfectly fine. But if I ever were to, I'm also not going to be out of control emotionally if that were to happen. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to faze me. I would be more fazed by a fly in my, back by my garden. I know, I'm just kidding. But like it's not even going to be that significant. It's not even going to be as significant as, like I won't be annoyed. I won't be anything. I don't think I'll be anything. I think I, at this point, have literally like any emotional connection I thought I had is now gone. I severed them. I learned how to make my own drinks. I go to concerts by myself. Anything that I could have possibly missed. You know what? I can even watch movies. Anything that I thought my friendship with him had that I would be lacking in my life without him is no longer going to do that. My life is not going to be lacking without his presence at all. There's nothing missing anymore. Nothing. And that's huge. That's huge. So, it's crazy. It's just crazy to me. It is literally like I severed a nerve last night. What used to cause me, all the sadness I've dealt with since I quit talking to him, it's like that feeling is gone. That heaviness, that sadness is just gone. And instead of replacing it with anger and defensiveness, because that's what we usually do when we're hurt, right? No, there's literally nothing. There is nothing. I have no emotional reaction at this particular moment in thinking about any of it. And that's incredibly freeing and liberating. Good thing I broke that ego, because he didn't free me from shit. I freed myself. He didn't save me. I saved myself. In fact, he became something I had to survive. That's the irony. Is his treatment to me forced me to have to get better. And it's amazing how the people that we can sometimes have the biggest problems with in life, or that affect us the worst, are the ones that will push us to become our best. And now I'm on that path. I'm not there yet. Every day is a day I can improve. But I don't think I'm going to be sliding as far backwards anymore. I really don't think that. I think I feel more in control and regulated and good than I have before. Ever, maybe. Possibly ever. I mean, if you think about everything that I really accomplished in doing this, your dad didn't want me to go to that concert. I mean, we're in a very, very confusing dynamic right now that there's no telling. We're both growing and working on ourselves, and it is really hard to grow and change and then still be compatible. I wish we would have done it together, but we didn't. And the sad truth is that I now also realize how much he's held me back in life and how many experiences I haven't had because I was too busy trying to be the perfect wife. Just like I could try to be the perfect friend, I try to be the perfect wife. And there is no perfection. Nobody's perfect. So when I faltered, it really blew up our family. But also, realizing that I haven't been 100% true to myself. I told him, I said, I know this is going to cause you insecurities, and this would have caused me not to go. In the past, I would choose not to go do. That's why I chose not to go to Lamb of God. I literally chose not to go to Lamb of God because of how it was going to affect your dad. And you're the one that told me that you thought I was making the choice for the wrong reasons. And I think that is a huge, that's something that Xavier never understood. He made assumptions, and he never took the time to understand where my actions were coming from, and just made assumptions all the time. And I don't think it matters now because I didn't matter to him. It was easier to assume than put in work to try to figure out the real fucking truth. And he didn't want that. So whatever. His narrative, I was just there. It's all his narrative. But the thing is that I have grown and changed. So I told your dad, I was like, I'm going, and I understand. And he told me flat out that he was worried that I was going to meet up with Xavier. And I was like, and the fact that you would think that that would be a plan after all the torture my brain has been in since the beginning of this year. It's been since January. Okay? So 7 months of hell. And realizing that I was used and fucking everything was a lie. And then I'm just going to go and be like, yeah, fun concert. I'm going to go meet up. Like, fuck that shit. Are you kidding me? But in the past, I would have not gone. So your dad felt better. So I forced him to have to deal with his, and he's not dealing with it well, by the way. I mean, overall, like, he is not liking the things that are coming out of this, but at least I'm being open and honest with him. At least he knows everything, you know? So,
Yep.
You know, like, he doesn't like it. And his behavior is, I'm going to tell you right now, is like, he's trying. I mean, A+ on effort on that side. But either way, if every single time I want to go do something alone, it's going to be met with this, I'm not going to do that. And I told your father, I said, you will find yourself so far out of my life. I was like, what everybody doesn't realize, and I get it because I had a codependent nature, so your father doesn't think I could do anything alone either. I guess that's a common consensus between the two of them. Well, what did I just do? You know what? I moved down here. This is my apartment. I'm going to go get my job. And this is my life. And I am going to completely rebuild it myself. And anybody that compliments my life thereafter will be just that. They will not. I'm done with teams. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be such a team player. I might make a good team for somebody else, but I realize that not everybody's team players, and there are too many people out there that are not. And so I am now going to play for my own team. Mine. And I just can't believe, like, I had a real eye-opening experience, though. The real truth is, being at the concert, I realized I wasn't even being myself at those things. And what I did enjoy was his energy, that he was having a good time. So that made it okay for me. But I wasn't enjoying it personally myself. And last night I got to. Like, I did. I met people, you know, I mean, briefly. I think it's so funny that I was like, I don't want to draw attention to things, so I'm not going to wear my concert shirt because I think I'm just too sensory overload. Still got complimented on my outfit. So funny. You know? Like, because I do stand out. I kind of stick out at these things. I'm not going to lie to you. The people that are there are not midlife crisis Barbie people, okay? And I still stay true to myself in that regard. So, you know, like, I kind of stick out like a sore thumb, but I didn't care. It doesn't make me uncomfortable because I love being me. I guess that's what I really had last night. I guess ultimately the real truth is I just enjoyed being myself and not having, I guess I pressured myself so much over time to make sure that I'm playing a role for somebody else that I don't give myself enough time to be me freely. Because not everybody can handle me. Most people can't. So I toned myself down. Instead of, I shouldn't have been, I would rather go and find fucking 2 to 3 fucking people that, you know, can accept me exactly for who the fuck I am. And then change myself so that they're more comfortable. You know? And
Yep.
That's the beauty of it. So, I can't stream too long today, chat. This is going to be, IG's got to go stream. And I got some serious sleeping probably to do because my whole body is wrecked. We were right there. Like, I stayed on the edge. I didn't go into the center of the mosh pit, but I was close enough. My ribs on my one side, I kind of got squashed into I guess it was a bar. It was a little, like a city, it was a ledge. But, like, people were crawling under it to get to the actual bar. It was so funny. But we were standing right there, and we were right on the edge of it. And No, and then between that and my shoes and then my dancing, oh my God. Like, I just, that's the other thing. I mean, overall, I didn't get that into the concerts when I went before, and maybe I would have learned something on my heels, although my feet were more like capable of my heels. They've been so babied by sandals and flip-flops since moving to the beach that they couldn't handle my Barbie shoes. Imagine being such a
not working with your Barbie.
Well, I mean, I lived in my heels, and it is literally you. People who wear heels every day can wear heels. When you don't wear heels for fucking 7 months, and then you go out and you stand on them for like fucking how many hours? Yeah, one would stand to reason that it's not going to be the same. Smart thinking, but I looked damn good, so that's all that matters, right? Isn't that all that matters?
Yep.
And so did Logan. Logan looked. So, I can't believe they were going to give him a margarita at the bar, though. And I was like, he literally has a stamp that says he's underage on his hand. And I looked at her, I was like, no, I'll take one margarita.
Bruh.
And then she was like, oh, does he want like a soda or a water? I was like, get him a water. He'll take a water.
Bruh.
But I was like, I mean, he does stand so far $1 over me and whatever. I mean, he does look older than he is. But still, and I know in Texas you have to, if you're 18, you can drink with your parents out, you know, so that could have, but I'm like, he's not even 16 yet, bro. Back off with that alcohol bullshit. But I'll take one. You know, it was also, I probably should have gone with like beer, honestly. But nah, it was a good time. I had fun. I feel completely like a new person today. So all that, I'm so scared and look at me. You guys go back and I need a mod. You in Twitch? I need. I thought I had it set so you had to like follow in order to fucking, maybe that's what we need to do. Do I not have that set? Or I think I have it set to you have to watch long enough before you can comment. You may have to change it to follower chat only. Is that a thing I can do?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to force people to do that, but you know, it might be what has to happen. You have to be a follower in order to, maybe you can help me with those settings later. So, but yeah, no. And the other thing is, I think it's so funny. Like I said, I don't have any footage of Union Underground because I was so into the fucking concert that I didn't want to hold my phone up. I didn't want to be standing there with my phone. And even when I did stand there with my phone, I was so into the fucking concert that there is no stability to those videos. Because I was jamming. Like, I was having a blast. And rewatching it, it's like so much even better. You know, I've never gone back and rewatched all the videos I have from the concert he and I went to. Never gone back and watched them. Ever. I have them, but I've never gone back and watched them. And I bet it would be a completely different experience for me now because I don't believe I was fully invested in experiencing it when I was there in the first place. It's all about him. All the time. That's never going to happen again. Like, I'm never going to, like, moving forward, the relationships I build, the friendships I have, it might be dangerous because I might be the one that's like, it's more about me. I mean, of course, I'm always going to have my compassion and empathy and love for people. That'll come back. I believe that now. I didn't believe that was going to come back, but I believe that'll come back. It's just this time it'll be for the right fucking people and the right reasons. It won't be a task. That's how I've treated it. Met people that I enjoy and made it my job to be the best for them I could be. Just because I enjoyed their company. And didn't want to risk them not enjoying mine. Tough shit. Moving forward, that'll be the way it goes. Like, I'm not ever going to suffocate myself again. And that will allow me to build relationships and friendships going forward that are on a more solid base where they will be healthier and better than any I've ever had before, because I was the false one in a lot of ways. Because changing myself to accommodate others isn't real. And recognizing that that's what I was doing, and that's the big epiphany I had last night, is not just about the fact that that's not something that people should do, but it's about the fact that I haven't been enjoying my life to the fullest extent that I can because I'm too busy doing that. And fuck that. Why? For what? For what?
Yeah. For who?
So,
For
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
But seriously, I feel so free today. And the fear that has plagued me for so long on so many levels that affects my emotional regulation is just gone. And I didn't even think that was going to be possible at all. So I'm really glad that I pushed myself through it. I'm really glad that I did the processing. You know I was freaking out before I went. I know that I was having a meltdown and so sad and everything, but it was the end. I hope to God that I can look back on the streams from the last 2 days and be like, that's the last time that I wasn't solid. Because life happens and life can be bad and we can be affected emotionally and all of those things are true. But my sense of self is strong. And I need to hang on to that because that's my greatest asset. You know, my greatest asset is me, just who I am, my personality. And it's not going to be for everybody because I am a little bit eccentric. I'm going to use that word instead of crazy. But I come with a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of goodness. But also, I think I've learned a balance to be able to be respectful and communicative, that when I communicate with the right people, they're going to respond in a healthy manner if they're healthy. And if they respond in an unhealthy manner, I'm going to see that fucking flag for what it is and walk the fuck away. I've learned so many things now. Only a couple weeks until my 43rd birthday. But I've learned so much that I think my next 30 years, it's going to be something else. It's going to be good. And you know what? I had the scariest thought this morning. I had the scariest thought this morning, though. You know what I thought, IG? How many times before all this shit hit the fan did I talk about my faith in God and the way that I believe that we have a chance on, like, we are presented with things and we're supposed to, like, this is actually in a way, like, I feel like this is almost like our hell and we have to work to try to get out of it. That's the idea, right? Like, I've talked about this before and this is too deep for what I'm going to go into because I'm too tired. So maybe someday I'll explain it further, chat. But here's what I realized. Remember how many times I said that I think that I had gotten it right and that I was going to be able to rest when my day came? I don't think that was true. I didn't have it right. Because the right thing would be to be 100% good with myself and not trying to be what everybody else needed me to be. So I wasn't doing it right. Still was doing it wrong. Even if I thought I was a good person and I was helping people and I was so kind. Everything within limitation and reason, right? And now that I have learned that, now the things that I have learned, especially over these last 2 years, I think I can get it right now. I think that the most incredible thing, though, is that I think I have finally learned how to love myself to a point where I'm just not going to need anybody else. I may want people to be in my life. I may care for people. I may want, that might be that. Yeah, that's normal, but it's never going to feel like that codependent nature where I can't lose somebody ever again. I mean, wouldn't want to, but I'll be strong enough to walk away from people who are bad for me now. And that's the real power of overcoming this. And I think this was in this particular case of trauma, this concert allowed me to free myself. I pushed through my fear. I could have chose not to go because of your dad's insecurities. I could have chose not to go because of my fear of my feelings and being triggered. I could have chose, but I didn't. I pushed through the fear and pain and came out on the other side better. And it's really hard to do. Don't get me wrong. And now I'm going to go do it with a job. Because I feel more ready now. That's another thing. Like, there's been this part of me that is just like, oh, can I really do this? Can I really go get a job? Can I really, like, I'm hesitant and I'm guessing and I'm second. Like, can I exist in society again? Can I, though? Because I'm pretty fucked up still, I think. But I wasn't. I've gotten so much better. But right now, no. Like, it's like no fear. The what ifs don't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter. I'm not scared anymore of anything. I think part of me would fear that I was never going to talk to him again. Don't care. Part of me feared that I was going to talk to him again. Don't care. Part of me feared that I'm going to meet other people in society that are going to suck my soul the way he did. Don't care. Not worried anymore. Not going to happen. I'm confident. I finally found my confidence again. And be a shithead, I'll treat you like a shithead. The end. And yikes on the level of shithead. Self-centered, fucking self-consumed fucking person that I've fucking learned. The people that exist, that I've seen that can exist in the world and everything I've learned, well, I'm going to be able to spot them better now. And they're not going to stand in my way, and they're not going to get the time of day for me that they got before, and I'm out of the business of fixing people. And I am too old for this shit. And moving forward, I mean, yep, I'm going to know. I'm going to know where to draw my boundaries and my lines and and not cross them and be okay with it. And look, people change. People change. Experiences change us. You know, what if the chance is that everything in the beginning was true, but because he ended up in a bad situation and because of the way it was going and because of the way it was all, that those actions and those things caused him to act in a manner that he wishes he didn't. Let's just say that. Let's just say it's not all fucking doom and gloom narcissist and he was out to fucking, you know, malignantly destroy me, okay? Let's just say that for fucking shits and giggles, all right? At this particular moment in time, I now am confident that it wouldn't matter because my knowledge of healthy communication and healthy, just mental health, maintaining mental health and emotional regulation, I am far more confident in being able to see the signs when something's not right for me. So, I mean, I have on both sides, whether it's narcissism or because he's traumatized, I have zero faith in his fucking recovery. Because if it's narcissism, he's not going to get better. And if it's fucking trauma, like I thought at one point, well, look at how hard I've had to work to get through that. And I just don't believe he's got it in him to want to change that badly. Some people get comfortable living in that state of mind because it's what they know. And change is scary. And it's hard. And it usually takes a certain level of self-reflection. And I've never heard anybody say, I can't do that more than him. He would say, I can't do that. I can't. And it used to drive me crazy because I never let you kids say can't. But it used to drive me crazy. Yes, you can. There is nothing anybody can't do. But you have to want to. You know? I mean, you could say you can't fly, but I just saw this person that had a literal jetpack and a fucking kiteboarder. Like, they had a fucking giant, it looked like the fans, the floor fans. They were up above the ocean on a fucking, like, parasail with a fan behind them. It looked homemade and built. Padre Madre took a picture of it and posted it. And I saw it, and I was like, what the hell? You can fly? Dude figured it out. Don't tell me you can't fly. Now, would I do that over the ocean? And like, I don't think so. You know?
Yeah, at that point, it's not about can you, it's about will you.
Should you? Should you?
Should. Yeah, should
you? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But all right. We have talked enough this morning. Well, this afternoon. It's afternoon. Honestly, my whole jawline hurts. My whole body hurts. And I need sleep. I just want to lay in bed and watch TV.
Lol. Makes sense, though.
What are you streaming today?
Death Stranding 2. I'm trying to get closer to beating this damn game. We're getting. I think we're getting close.
I think I am going to sit and bookmark a ton of applications and make the plan to get up tomorrow morning and apply to a gazillion jobs because I am ready to go to work. And that is going to be my plan, but I need a day off because damn, I'm a little wrecked. Also might add finding a dentist on my list because yikes. Ears, nose, and throat are connected, and I forgot about my cavity being such a thing, and it is all, the pain is all the way now down to almost my shoulder blade from my neck.
Damn.
Yeah, I need to see a doctor, or a dentist, I mean, but yeah, but I'm good. So, all right, Siren Squad. Man, thank you all for coming along with me on my journey so far. I'm hoping moving forward, it's all going to be about living life and a whole lot less of this trauma bullshit. Might have to rebranding already. We're already rebranding. No focus on. No, I'm still recovering. I'll be recovering. I'll probably have PTSD for the rest of my life. It's not something that people typically get over very easily. But I'm going to have a certain level of confidence and intellect to have a hell of a lot more control of how it affects me. And that is the most liberating thing I think I have ever experienced in my life. And I'm excited about life more than I ever have been before. So, we'll see. You know how many times I say I think I'm through this trauma shit, and then it comes back. But this time feels different in this particular case. This may have been the last bit I needed to let go of. I think I've spent this whole last 7 months letting go of a lot. And this may have been the final one, which maybe also scared me a little bit and is part of why I was triggered before I went. Maybe I was afraid to finally be free enough to learn to live in a different manner, because what I have gotten comfortable with is things that are unhealthy. So, but I did it. Had a great time. So I hope y'all have a great, what is it? Is today Tuesday? No, it's Monday. It's just Monday.
No,
God.
Monday.
Oh my God. All right, chat. Have a great Monday. And we'll talk to you probably tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.
Bye-bye.